Initial ideas on happiness. What you wrote in class. These concepts can help with writing more. Do you like this response? In the chapter, The Pursuit of Happiness, the authors explain happiness consists of three distinct elements: the pleasant life, the good life, and the meaningful life. I agree with this balance. It is not only one element, but it also considers a mixture of three, starting with enjoying daily pleasures like food. For example, a small dessert can bring you joy for even a small minute or two. The first bite is always the best one to enjoy. Furthermore, using skills for enrichment can be more than just being smart at math, which most of the time is considered as what smart people are able to do. This can be applied to cooking skills, preparing your favorite food by making it just like your mother does. That does require certain skill to recreate, and it will bring you joy once you have finished the recipe, even if the outcome is good or not. The last one, contributing to the good, does not necessarily have to involve a grand donation of money to charity. This can be as simple as buying cat food to feed a stray cat. Happiness can be envisioned in many ways. Personally, I like to think of simpler things that can make me happy, since my life has been surrounded by feeling grateful for the simplest things in life. My mother raised me that way. Do you like this response? I think it's pretty clear. I think it's good as an initial short paragraph to explain some ideas. This one's shorter, but are the ideas clear? I don't think there is such a thing as being truly happy at all. In life, I don't think having money makes a person truly happy. It may help, but life has its goods and bads. Well, that's a clear sentence. It's a clear idea there. And it's focusing about money. Is money all? Look at this one. I agree with the idea that the pursuit of happiness comprises three independent components: the good life, the pleasant life, and the meaningful life. All three of them contribute significantly towards realizing true happiness for human beings. The pleasant life, this form of happiness comes from taking pleasure, comfort, and delight in daily life. Delighting little things, such as spending time with loved ones, hobbies, or favorite activities, sums up to short-term happiness. While important, concentrating on pleasure by itself might not create lasting satisfaction. The good life. This writing is continuing. This is an active and self-enhancing life. Meaning in work, relationships, and challenges allows individuals to feel satisfied and accomplished. When people use their strengths and talents to achieve goals, they experience a profound sense of satisfaction, more than temporary pleasure. The meaningful life. The most profound type of happiness comes from feeling a sense of purpose and contributing to something greater than oneself. Whether through helping others, doing work at which one is passionate, or living by personal values, meaning gives direction and lasting satisfaction in life. This is interesting, huh? Ideas are pretty clear here. Ideas are pretty clear here. I read all these already. The three elements, and then it goes through, the writer goes through this one, and this one, and then finally, also, this is my opinion about happiness. A happy life is a balanced combination of pleasure, fulfillment, and meaning. True happiness is not just about feeling good in the moment, but also about living with purpose, building meaningful relationships, and achieving personal growth. Well, this is interesting because this is, in my point of view, a truly happy life blends these three aspects. If someone only seeks pleasure without meaning or engagement, their happiness may be short-lived. On the other hand, when a person finds joy in the small moments, is engaged in meaningful activities, and feels a sense of purpose, they experience lasting happiness. Here's a question. If somebody wrote this part here before writing this, is it necessary to say this is my opinion? Some writers say no, that if it has my name, it's clear I wrote it, and I don't need to say this is my opinion. That could also be true of this, in my point of view. A truly happy life blends these three aspects. Can it be there? Sure, it's okay. Is it okay to say this? Yeah, but maybe it's not necessary. These three were one writer writing this, and this together. Interesting, huh? Let's move on. It's like a short essay. Nice idea. Happiness is something we all seek, and it's something we will always look for. We are in a never-ending, if you click this on, that's going to probably tell you that never-ending can be one word, journey of pursuing happiness. We have to learn how to accept reality of life and forgive ourselves and others. Maybe the reality of life is better. Life is so short and it's good. It's good. Now, is this? It is. If it's it is, we need it like this. To be generous as it creates happiness. Now, if we have and then there's a subject and verb after it, we do want a comma here. Life is good and it's short and it's good to be generous as it creates happiness. We have to start doing good in order to feel good. Now, this is underlined because some people say, do we need to say in order, or can we just say to feel good? I'm okay with you saying in order. When people gift us, what do we need after this? Comma. We have to practice to not feel as if they owe us anything. Another form of happiness would be to take care of ourselves before we give. In order to love others, we are supposed to love ourselves first. Now, when we see this, another form of happy would be to take care of ourselves before we give. In order to love others, well, that's almost not a new sentence. You could go like this, in order to love others, comma. We are supposed to love ourselves first. That would be good. Or it could be a period here. And if it's a period, you have a capital I. When you feel your best and confident, comma, you enjoy life and the way you see it, and confidence brings you happiness. What do you need? When there's an and, once again, we need a comma here. You understand? When you feel your best and confident, comma, you enjoy life and the way you see it, comma, and confidence, after and there's a subject and verb, that is when we need a comma before the end. It's a what? Never-ending cycle. Now that's an interesting, never-ending. Should it be like this? You understand? Should it be, how should we say never-ending? Constant, never-ending. Good words here, good descriptions. Move on a little more. What do you think of this? Happiness does not always come from the pleasant life, the good life, and the meaningful life. Those three ideas. There are other factors to know that make a person happy. So I believe that isn't the whole picture. People can have all three and still feel empty. Research shows that factors like age and strong family relationships also play a big role in happiness. This shows that happiness is more complex and depends on more than just those three elements. Interesting, right? Only thing that might be thought about is, do we need the I believe? If it's got your writing, do you need the I believe? This paragraph came from the two paragraphs in the next slide. And what happened is it started off like this. The person wrote the question. And then it says, I mean, there are other factors. I mean is not really necessary there. And I took this part, there are other factors, and I moved it to here. And I removed the in my conclusion or in conclusion or in my opinion. This was a writing that had 3 paragraphs, and in one way to say in conclusion, but if we say in conclusion, we don't say in my conclusion. It's just in conclusion. But since it's a relatively short writing, maybe we don't need that. I kind of removed it, and I just went to this way. Is it an improvement? I think so in some ways. Last one, I think. No, we got 2 more. Second to last one. When happy, which should be after that, comma, we focus on the present rather than the future. Happiness is our happy place. What is the happy place? Comma, our dream or reality moment, a special day. Now it's interesting, this one's expressing these 3 things says what happiness is to the person that's wrote this. A state of well-being and a satisfaction or purpose, a sense of fulfillment in life. Now, this is not a complete sentence. A state of well-being and a satisfaction or purpose, a sense of fulfillment in life. A state of well-being and a satisfaction or purpose, comma, a sense of fulfillment in life are other ways to describe happiness, or other parts of happiness, or other things that make us happy. What do we want? Are other parts of happiness? Might be a better way to say that. We need it to, it's good to complete the idea. Most of us have a happy person we could come back home to. Now this 2 is not 2 O's. Or, comma, or seeing or parents or children provide happiness, give us happiness. Be good to add a little bit there. It could be really anything, like just coming home from to, or just from work to showering and eating a nice meal, to laying down with our pets. You might want to put a comma here because it's 2 here. Happiness is a feeling we express when we really have and fulfill something that brings us joy. We fulfill something that brings us joy. Interesting thoughts here. But here you say we focus on the present rather than the future. There's a quote that's there, and that's an interesting idea too, because if I'm focusing on the future, what does that mean compared with when I'm focusing on the present? How could I explain that? What could we say? Last one, interesting response. The authors explain that happiness consists of 3 distinct elements: the pleasant life, the good life, and the meaningful life. Personally, I disagree with these criteria because happiness is not objective. It's not something that can be measured, and it depends on each person. That is, what makes me happy and leads me to a full and happy life may not bring that happiness to others. I'm not talking about emotions or feelings, but rather a constant state of mind. For me, happiness is a set of goals achieved, emotions, moments shared with the people I love, achieving success in my life goals, etc. Now you put here etc. Is etc. good to have in here or not? You are saying, for me, happiness is this, this, and that. That is very specific. In a writing, it's better to be specific. Etc. means like, well, what else? What are you really trying to say? If this is really what it is, then leave it like that. If it's a few more things, you could say, and a few more things. But in general, in a writing, I expect you, if you're going to say this, to later be explaining it. Of course, this is a shorter writing, so there wasn't enough time to explain it. But if I believe happiness is this, 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 and that, you would expect me to explain it. I repeat then that for me, happiness is subjective and cannot be measured in just 3 criteria. Great. I can agree with you. It's not just part of 3 criteria. However, if we're going to say there's a problem with those 3, then we want to consider what part of happiness is not there. You understand? And how do we do that? I'll just be honest with you. All of you have written some very interesting responses to start off a discussion of happiness. These are your initial responses about happiness or ideas on happiness. As you have more time to consider what you would say about happiness or write more about the topic, think of what makes you happy and what really it is. Thank you.